garlic here that I want to push up. It pushes up through quite a bit of mulch actually. Oh, this looks so tasty. So check this out. This is honeyberry bush here, a lateral that's come out right along the ground, and then some vertical growth. And this will be perfect for just burying with the wood chips, and they will put some roots out, and then I can come back and just cut it off there and pull this out, and I'll have a really nice new honeyberry bush. Six cell tray, nice air roots. So it's been 3 weeks now since I took the rosemary cuttings. Beauties. My yams are popping now. They're growing pretty tall. Some of these, this is the first cluster of shoots to come up. Parsley and Thai basils and cornflower, some new lupins, basil here that's been pricked out. Tons of chard, yellow and red and pink, broccoli, marigold, eggplants, zinnias, Guam red dragon, little perennial guys, cabbages, sage plants, some fennel. Yeah, so it's kind of an influx and outflux of seedlings and potted up plants from here. Sometimes I pot them up outside and bring them in here for a couple more days, and then I'll bring them back out to the greenhouse kind of thing. Dug up a whole bunch of these Cabot strawberries and some rose campion. Show you all the plants in here. Got all my onions here. Tomatoes, kales, tomatillos, hyssop, Greek oregano. And I just cut out this hole here. It's really more practical. Now I can reach into there. That's actually an asparagus bed. Cabbage collard greens, tons of celery. So I have a new sweet corn variety here. I'm trying out Who Gets Kissed, open pollinated. It says it rivals some of the hybrids. It tolerates cold soil temperatures. And I've just been soaking them in here for a couple hours. So I'm using these tree plug flats. These have worked out really well for me for corn transplants. You do need to be careful with corn. They send out a taproot, and if they hit, the bottom too soon, if you got a really shallow container, it sends information to the plant that might not be getting that large, and thus you may not get a very big yield. So you do need to be careful with doing corn transplants. So it's important to plant corn deep enough. I've made that mistake in the past, planting it too shallow, and they tend to fall over basically. Going to be germinating these in the greenhouse, I decided. Excited to get these in a lot earlier this year. Fava beans actually like cool temperatures, unlike other beans. There we go, that can be their home for a couple of days until I get to pulling them out and potting them up. Looks like I'm gonna be able to just plant out my broccolis and cabbages directly from this size. Plug flat, pretty much warm enough now. Peppers are going out to the greenhouse. Look at these guys, flowering again. Free white plastic was on the side of the road. I think it's like ice skating rink plastic. It's really going to diffuse the sun. I'm hoping I don't have to put any shade cloth. There'll be enough light diffusion. Look at these beauties. They're so long. Thinking I could probably take some snips there and try to root them. I think you want to pull them off earlier so that the tuber starts, shooting up more. I let these get really long. So I'm going to take it off about there. So that method worked really well by burying the tubers an inch or two under the soil so that they form the nice root right away instead of having to try to root some in water. I'm going to try to root some in water with the tops here. Oysters, I love these. These guys went bad at my cooking job, so I thought I'd bring some home and distribute some spores here. It's really nice and moist in this area here with the wood chips. There's a nice hole in there. Covered this hugelkultur here with a bunch of wood chips this year. Garlic's popping up here from last fall planting. Things do really well here next to the waterway. So I'm just going around planting all these new lupins that I started from a store-bought seed packet, actually. So I have mostly purple in the area, and so I thought I'd introduce some more colors. Got these wild roses popping up everywhere this spring. They're gonna love it here. All the fruit trees are blooming again. There's Gumboot being nutso. This opata plum, even though it makes very small plums, a cherry plum, the fragrance is incredible. It's so sweet. It's worth having just for the sweetness that fills the air in the spring. Planting out a lot of zinnias. And just drop her in. Got lots of volunteer sunflowers here. It's a field of parsnips here. All right, so sadly, all of my onions have really bad thrips. There's like 10 right in that area there. That's pretty serious. So what I'm gonna do is just level them right off and just plant the bulbs. Onions will grow back. This is the best choice. Gotta keep telling myself because this is ridding probably 90% of the bugs. It was crucial to cut them low enough so that I got all the thrips off. Four trays done. It's over 200 there of the Red of Florence. Incomplete. Italian plum tree is blooming again. And this is exciting. I just noticed this. Check this out. Underneath this tray, it's like lifted off the ground here. Asparagus. It's the next day and finally finished prepping all my onions, getting rid of the bugs and the soil on the top, sorting them. Cucumbers and basil Just took everything out of the grow house up there. These are my cauliflowers. I started a number of flats, and second time I got fooled with bunk seed twice this year on my cauliflower. Cukes are looking really good. Fish juice sometimes. Lots of basil. So I was just snap pruning this hydrangea here, and then I saw this and I was trying to remember what I did here. This is a magnolia branch that I've got down on the ground and have a nice rock on it to try to root some more. See, here's the branch coming down. We're on a broccoli mission. We're gonna do some solstice broccoli here. Last year I did zucchini. You can see the stalks there still. They did really well here underneath the tree. Got a lot of good size, and this is her first year flowering. Gotta pull her back that way. So the loganberries over here and the blackberries are kind of merging with their runners. The blackberries root really fast. Look at that new plant right there. That's so awesome. These dwarf cherries are just blooming profusely. They're actually on their way out. All the pollinators have been thick on here. I've also identified some mason bees, which I'm really looking out for this year. I'd like to do some mason bee homes. I get a little bit of time. Just put a soaker on my strawberries this year and put some bone meal on just yesterday. This one's a different variety here. It's a little bit behind in bloom. This one. I think I'm gonna do a row here again. Goji berry trellis is looking good. Going through and snapping the ends off. Don't really need pruners. Now that the huge kiwi vine is down, needed to cut it down because the power company wanted it off of there, and had some electrical issues actually as well. Turned out to be down at the other transformer box, however, so it probably was fine, but it's probably good that it's off. Still need to take off all of this dry branch now. It's really locked on there though. It's really opening the light up in this area, so that's kind of good as well, because I got all these blueberries in here, and I suppose the kiwi could work its way this way and kind of replace the yosta berries. I do need to build something more substantial, so that all takes time. Ideally, I'd want to put some little concrete footers with metal posts. Yeah, so the soil does look pretty good here. All right, got that row planted, Green Magic and Sun King. And I was just watering my gojis here, and I got this piece that snapped off. So I'm just gonna stick it in the ground and try to propagate some more plants with her. Soak her down with some water. Springtime is definitely the best time to just do direct in-ground clones. Same with grapevines. Let's check out this, speaking of grapevines. Yes, came back. This is from my neighbor, from Eddie. He actually passed away recently. This grape here will remind me of him. And see, I just took clippings and laid them down flat, put some earth over them. This was last summer, early fall. So I miss the daffodils here, the narcissus. Start eating some of that. Get garlic in here, blueberries. The heat just came full on, and yeah, just short. Everything is budding and flowering and finishing quickly. Okay, my dibbler broke, and then I was trying a different board. It wasn't quite big enough. I think this one works good. Just rounded it a bit. And yeah, the onion fits in there real nice. A little bit of space on the bottom. I'm gonna throw a little bit of fruit. I'm gonna get all these holes made now. I'm gonna do this all in an assembly line. 185 holes in each bed. And there is a bit of space on the bottom of the hole on a lot of them, so when they get watered in, that'll just collapse, and the fertilizer will kind of mix with some of the soil. Got 2 3/4 trays of Kelsey. They're fast to start re-leafing. That was cut right off, and yeah, 2 days it's been now, not even, and they're already popping up again.
Take me in your arms, do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you, and I'll always be around when I need some loving, baby. And I'll never let you down, let you down, let you down. I'm your song, and you're playing all my melodies. There's no one else, 'cause baby, we got chemistry. Me feelings that I never knew. This heart of mine will always and forever belong to you. You and me were meant to be as one. The universe has known it all along.
My soil's not very deep here, actually. I'm going to be piling up a bunch of manure, and/or I was kind of even thinking of starting a bit of a hugel culture behind them. I really want to get this a bit more of a mound. It's very sunny here. Here's a good little trick to get the water down where the roots are. Stick it right into the ground like that. There, we got some Numex peppers in here, in between the tomatoes. Just little guys. Got the onions, peppers, tomatoes, and I'll do some lettuce along the back there. What you doing, buddy? Slinky move.
Take me to your heart, take me to your soul. Never drawn apart, 'cause I belong to you. Be my guiding star, 'cause I need your loving, baby. And never let me down, let me down, let me down. I'm your song, and you're playing all my melodies. There's no one else, 'cause baby, we got chemistry.
So I have 2 varieties of cabbage in here, April Green and Savoy. I've got them just one and then the other variety, so that the April Green will come out beforehand, and that'll make some more space for the Savoy, which are a bit longer to mature. My melons finally came up, tip-top melon, and decided to do some watermelon as well. So I've got 2 varieties here, Crimson Sweet and Sugar Baby. Also got some more cantaloupe, Heart of Gold. So I'm just starting out doing a quick tray here. Found some buried leather slippers under my peach tree here. Breaking, got too many roots. Here. They don't look like a whole lot, but they're there.
stars.
I found my sickle. It was up there in the rock garden. Just turned the pond on as well. And I just looked over and there it was. Lost it last spring.
Yahoo!
Compost cow manure and a big roll of straw. Save that guy. These are the candy roaster mushata. So the candy roasters are going to grow up this trellis and then arch over and hang down on the inside. These shelling peas play nicely, I think, with the squash. They're going to help fix some nitrogen. Stabbed it. It was hiding right under the daylilies. Just must have missed it digging. Didn't dig close enough. Okay, I got another line of fencing here, just some scrap fencing that I put in, and I've bent it so that it's kind of covering this piece here, and they'll grow up and catch on, and then they'll lean and go up the fence line and grow in between the two fences. Can always use more wood chips. So just getting my cukes out of here. These are Sugo long. Looking really good, just catching them before. I need to transplant a bunch of them, but I'm also going to plant a bunch of them right now. For this year. Planting some lima beans to save these from last year. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,